Jaiski Chapter 2 For Love and Love Alone. Kindness is more important than wisdom, and recognition of this is the beginning of wisdom. Theodore Isaac Rubin. So there we were in 1976, four young people stranded on the border of Nebraska and Colorado, victims of snap timing chain in our car. The car shop said it would be 2 weeks before the car would be ready, and we still had 170 miles to travel to get to my brother's cabins, located in the foothills of the mountains just west of Denver. Hitching a ride became our only option. After an hour with no success, we decided to split up into groups of two. Our two other friends quickly found a ride, but my girlfriend and I were still unsuccessful, and our spirits were sinking fast as we backed on the side of the road under the blazing Colorado summer sun. Suddenly, it looked like a car was pulling over toward us. Finally, we started grabbing our stuff until I noticed that the car that was pulling over was a Volkswagen Bug with two people in front, the back seat totally filled to the brim with stuff. My heart fell as I started to wondering why this guy had even pulled over in the first place. The driver jumped out with a big smile on his face and cheerfully asked, "So, need a lift?" Yeah," I said. "Our car broke down and we need to get to the Denver, but where you going to put us?" "Oh, in the back seat," he said. "Just give me a few minutes to rearrange things a bit." What followed next is something I never forget. He suddenly became a flurry of arms, pulling stuff out of the back seat, throwing it onto the side of the road. Then, opening the hood of the VW, which was the actual trunk of the car, since the engine was in the back, and totally emptying that out as well in the same almost maniacal but still happy manner. Then he started putting it all back, scrunching things here and there, like piecing together a puzzle until almost a full half hour later he had managed to attain a small space in the back seat where we were, I think, supposed to fit. "There," he said proudly. "I think you'll be able to get in there." Well, I'm 6 foot 3 inches tall, and my girlfriend was tall too, and I must say, I had second thoughts as we started the process of wedging ourselves into the back, finally fitting. Although my knees ended up almost touching my chest, I figured though, any port in a storm, and off toward Denver we went. Our driver was certainly a jolly fellow, whistling and pleasantly chatting with us as we drove along. However, with no air condition in the car. Remember, this was a VW Bug, 1976. It seems like the temperature in the back was around 100. My girlfriend and I were sweating profusely, and my knees were streaming for a different position. Mercifully, I saw that we were finally getting close to Denver. The driver then asked, "So, where exactly does your brother live?" "Oh," I said, "actually about 20 miles up into the mountains from Denver. But just drop us off at the next gas station and we'll give him a call." Now, remember, this was 1976, before pagers or cell phones, so waiting at the payphone was probably going to be our fate if my brother was not home when we called. He said, "So, do you know how to get to his cabin?" "Well, yeah," I replied. "But sir, you're already gone out of your way just to make us fit into your car. I'm sure you'd like to get on your way, and besides, we're talking about 20 more miles of gravelly mountain roads. To be honest, I don't know if your little bag here, stuffed to the gills like it is, and with all of us, could even make it up those tough roads." "Well," he said, looking back at us with a cheerful smile, "let's find out. My friend here and I love a good adventure." As further protests on my part kept falling on deaf ears, we went up into the mountains, all the time wondering if indeed there was a way this adventure could have a happy ending. Sure enough, about an hour and many silent prayers later, there we were, the dusty little VW bug actually pulling into the driveway of my brother's cabin. As our driver helped pull us, literally, out of the back seat, he happily said, "Yup, now that was an adventure, was not it?" I smiled weakly as the blood finally started to flow back into my numb knees. Then, as I moved to pull out my wallet to give him some compensation for going way above and beyond the call of duty, a firm hand clamped down on my wrist, forcing my wallet back into my pocket. He said, "No, there'll be none of that now." "But sir," I pleaded, "after dozen and dozen of hog cars with only one driver pass us by, you choose to give us a ride. Although there really was not room in your car, and it took you almost a half hour just to make some space available. Then you go way out of your way up into the mountains with a small car loaded to the gills on a suffering hot day, not even knowing if you would make it. There must be some way I can repay you." He thought for a moment, then looked me directly in the eyes. Smiling, he said, "Actually, there is something you could do that would make me very happy." "Name it," I said. "If you find yourself in a situation," he said, "where you could help someone in need like I just helped you, then please do it for love and love alone." I trembled a little inside as he spoke, realizing this was something I would actually do and never forget. "You get it?" I said. With that, we all hugged. He got back in his little VW bug and they drove off down the dusty mountain road, waving and smiling. Since that one amazing hot summer's day in Colorado, I cannot tell you how many times I have chosen to offer my help to others in need. When I do, I see his smiling face and hear those wonderful words, "For love and love alone," by John Belmonte.